Hello, everyone. How's everyone feeling? Good? Good. Come on, let's get a little bit more energy. We already had lunch, so we have full tummies, or I know it's getting close to the 2:30 mark where we all need another cup of coffee. But super excited to be here today to participate in this slam session. I hope my CTO does not see this recording because our friends over at Monroe use our laptop to present. We were joking about not Monroe and Berkeley going head to head at the slam session. Friendly competition. So thank you again for inviting me to this slam session and to present to you all what we're working on at Berkeley College. So, quick statement. What I would love to do today with everyone is support you in identifying an opportunity that can grow your enrollment by 200%. 200%. No? Let me edit that. Your corporate learning enrollment. So your professional students who are working at organizations support you with increasing that. See, as I'm looking out to the audience, I will tell you what I see is this. Okay? I'm already nervous, and these are the faces that I'm looking at right now. But this is actually the face that my kids look at when they say that I was born in the 1900s. Yeah. But all jokes aside, my name is Randy Gomez. I specialize in building scalable partnerships that drive enrollment, retention, and workforce impact. One thing that I did want to bring up just to level set and make sure that we're all on the same page is that today is not just about partnerships and AI, utilizing AI tools to support our growing partnerships, but it's also about rethinking the systems and the way that we engage with the industry, right? There are various departments in our organizations that engage with employers, government relations, et cetera, et cetera. So today we just want to shift that mindset and reframe how we engage with these organizations. Alrighty, so Berkeley College graduate, alum, yes, yay. I am also the founder of Sparks, which is a technology lab, and we specialize in impact programming, and I am the president of Prospanica, so wear multiple hats. In addition to this, I am a mom. This is our recent family picture. My daughter just turned 16 years old, so we scheduled a family photo shoot, that 4-hour session. This was the one picture that worked. And if you zoom in closer, you'll definitely see that it technically didn't work, but we made it work. A little bit about myself and my credentials, my background. Again, graduated from Berkeley. I have experience with AWS, definitely a bit of a cloud geek. Love learning about how all of these mechanics work and how we can make them work for us. Also did some certification with deep learning, specializing in large language models. Recently completed a certificate with Microsoft, which was a really cool experience because at the end of the program, we participated in a hackathon. Anyone ever been to a hackathon or participated in one? Yeah, so a lot of fun. We built an automated marketing system for nonprofits. That is one of the biggest pain points for nonprofits, keeping up with their social media, because usually the social media person is also the CEO or the accounting person and wearing multiple hats. And then Berkeley participated at Tech NYC, which was definitely a tremendous experience for us. It's a very selective program in New York City. And we were a group of about 10 organizations that dove deep into the world of AI and how we can integrate artificial intelligence to support us with our everyday operations. So these are some of the partners that we work with both at Berkeley and externally, but I want to dive a little bit deeper into all of that as we go through the presentation. So today, this is just a glimpse of what we're going to be talking about, the challenge, the solution. I'm also going to share some case studies, some examples of how we've integrated these tools, and then we're going to do a hands-on workshop. Who's down for a hands-on workshop? Yes, well, and I'll tell you why we're gonna do a hands-on workshop, because this lab session was originally 10 minutes. But we got an amazing email from Donna, because she's so generous. She gave us an additional 20 minutes. So yeah, we're doing a hands-on workshop, guys, and Q&A. All right, so did you know that over 90% of large employers offer tuition reimbursement? Did you all know that? Now, I want you to tell me what percentage of employees actually utilize it. Who wants to volunteer? What percentage? 20%? Less than 10%. Yeah, exactly. This is one of the biggest points for employers. When I meet with our corporate learning partnerships, they ask us, how do we increase this? They actually want to use this funding, right? And so we work with them one-on-one to develop plans to ensure that we support them with increasing the engagement. But I want to start with why. Why should we focus our attention, our energy, and our resources into engaging with these individuals, with the working professional that is working in a corporation? So a few pointers here. Number one, these students, these enrollments have a higher return on investment for institutions. Why? Because they're one of the biggest enrollment opportunities for working professionals is referrals, right? You start out of college, you love it, you appreciate the schedule, the faculty, what you're learning. What do? You tell your colleague, right? And so your colleague also takes a look at the opportunity and decides whether or not it's a good fit. But also, you have the human resource professionals who also have goals to upskill their employees. So now you have an internal ally who's promoting your programs and your services to ensure that their employees are staying up to date with the trends and with the industry. These students also persist longer, although they do enroll part-time. They do tend to complete their program, so it has a positive influence on retention. And they're less price sensitive. Do we know why? Why are they less price sensitive? They're getting reimbursed. So 46% of organizations nationwide offer tuition reimbursement. The 90% is for the larger organizations, right, with thousands of employees. And then what is the average annual tuition benefit that each employee receives? Does anyone know that number? Because we're going to do some math here today. 5,000-ish, yes, $5,322. You cannot participate. You're excluded, no. You had the cheat code. But a few other things that are very beneficial is that B2B learning opportunities, right? Identifying what is a pain point within the organization, what are they looking to scale at, and reviewing your programs and where you can meet that need. All right, so I did say we're gonna do some math. So are you all ready with some calculators? Take out your phones. This is an interactive workshop. Let's go, we got 30 minutes. We got 30 minutes. So let's start with 160 million, right? 160 million people are in the US labor force. That is based on the statistics for 2024. That is the first number, 160 million. So 30% of that, roughly, work in large corporations. So what is 30% of that? 48 million. 48 million. You're following along? You look like a math professor. 90% of large employers offer tuition reimbursement. So what is that number? 48 million, 90% of it offer tuition reimbursement. What was that? 43 million. All right, we're getting there. But only 10% or fewer use it. So 39 million are eligible employees that do not use their benefits. Are we liking these numbers, by the way? Absolutely, 39 million. So average employer tuition is $53.22 per year. What was that? Sneezing, bless you. I thought you were like, what? It is a $200 billion opportunity that we have here. Yes. And this is only roughly estimating the organizations that offer the tuition reimbursement. Is that a nice number? Yes. Yes, it is. So what is the challenge? Why are organizations not tapping into this great opportunity? The reality is that as we work with our corporate partners, we have found that a lot of institutions work in silos when it comes to business partners, right? And I'm sure you all can relate to this. Everyone has their own bucket. So alumni relations is working with our graduates. All of our graduates, or a good chunk of our graduates, are placed in corporations. These corporations are potential partners for us. But that's a separate database. Career services is placing our students, identifying internship opportunities. That's another database of potential partners that we can engage with. Faculty is reaching out to speakers, to co-facilitate opportunities in the classroom. Field trips, they're doing field trips at corporations. So just to give you an idea about, more or less of where all these different opportunities lie for us to identify and increase the enrollment. So just a little bit more background about myself before I dive into the hands-on portion of these things. This is a picture of my son and I. We went to a conference in France at the Salesforce Tower. Every time that I go to a conference, I drag one of my kids with me. We make it a little solo trip, lifelong learning, and they get to discover and explore a country. That was France. We've done Mexico. We've done Argentina, Brussels. And this is what I do with all the badges. I have them in my office displayed for show so we can have talking points with our students. But one of the things that I've learned in exploring these different conferences, they usually tend to be tech conferences, is the decentralization of things, right? Decentralized autonomous organizations tend to work on the blockchain. And what that means is that there's no central source of decision-making. Folks within the organization can contribute to decisions that are made in the business. And I found that to be astonishing because I'm like, well, who's in charge, right? They have systems set up to support the platforms and support the decision-making. So when it came to our program and the corporate learning partnerships and expanding our program at the school, I decided to take some of those learning opportunities and implement them in what we're doing with our partners. So 3 steps to a successful corporate learning partnership. And I am going to share with you the tool that I created for today's session, a duplicate of what we use to support with that. So step number 1 is decentralized discovery. What does this mean? Decentralized discovery means that every single department has the opportunity to share leads with the partnerships team. Identifying who you're already working with, doing business with, and identifying if they are a potential partner for us to explore and expand our offerings. So contribute to the growth of the decision-making and also create a culture where partners' success is shared, not siloed. Okay, some of these images are just of partnerships that we have or events that we have put together with our partners. But one of the things that I do want to point out with decentralized discovery is also decentralized discovery of our events as an organization. So we recently piloted utilizing Eventbrite for our campus events. Who here is on Eventbrite for their events? Does anyone know what Eventbrite is? Yes. A lot of us use Eventbrite when we're looking for things to do in our vicinity, right? The challenge with having all of your events on your website is that someone has to physically go to your website to discover what's happening on campus, rather than searching what's happening in my area. So decentralizing events in that way allows you to tap into a much larger geographic footprint where folks can discover you. Cross-functional, which means lowering the barrier to sharing leads. People won't act unless the action is clear and frictionless. So developing a system where we can get together, have a conversation, and share any leads that we're speaking to, any potential leads that we have discovered, or any ideas that come from those conversations. So what does that look like in practice, right? How do we decentralize? What would be a good first step to move into that direction? What I would recommend is a monthly meeting. Yes, I know. Can this be an email? Yes, it can be an email. Who you're speaking to, sharing with other departments. However, gathering will allow you for more efficiency with sharing the information, and it will also allow for cross-collaboration, so you all have a centralized place. At this point, what I would love to do is share with you all the custom GPT that we created to help with partnerships building. And I'm going to ask my lovely assistants to support me with handing out the sheet. All right, are we ready to get some hands-on workshop going, yes? All right, so why a custom GPT? So we have our own custom GPT that we utilize within the partnerships team. For today, I duplicated that custom GPT, so it's fresh, it doesn't have all of Berkeley's information, and you can go in there and ask it questions and chat away and engage with it. So what's different about a customized ChatGPT is that it's tailored to higher education. So it is going to support with partnership discovery, and when I mean tailored to higher education, it understands the entire funnel, from lead to applicant to admitted student, enrollment, graduate, etc. Everyone has a handout, yes? So there's multiple ways that you can engage with the ChatGPT. You can scan the QR code and it'll take you to the page. You can also type up the website that's there, the bit.ly. And by show of hands, let me know when you land there. Amazing. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do a live demo so we can see how this all works. Oops. Oh, yeah, we might have to change the screens.
Shortcut is Windows P.
And you could just leave it on present mode, the one screen. Beautiful. All right, is this what you all see in the custom GPT? So I named my custom GPT Partnership Buddy. Has anyone ever created a custom GPT? You can raise your hand with pride. Yes. So this is a great low-lift tool that can be utilized within departments. If you have the paid version, all of the information that you put into your ChatGPT will be centered to your account, so it will not be available for the public. But of course, I always advise everyone to check in with their chief technology officers before they utilize any of these tools, or not utilize the tools, but enter any sensitive information pertaining to your university. But for us, most of our information is online, our programs, our schedules, so it's not sensitive information when you're looking to discover partners. So, hi, I'm your partnership buddy, here to help you discover and design corporate partnerships that align with your academic program. So I would love you all to go in there and you're saying hi. Oop. Oh no. Oh, here we go. So as you can see, it's asking you a few questions. What department or academic program are you working with? So go ahead and plug that in. And I would love to hear from you all what the prompts display, what the outputs are. What was that?
You want us to read it?
Yeah, whoever wants to share.
Well, I just said, hey, buddy. And it said back, hey there, ready to dive into some impactful partnerships. Just let me know, one, what academic department or program you're focusing on. Number two, whether you're looking to find new partners, re-engage old ones, or expand current relationships. Number three, what kind of student impact you're aiming for. Enrollment boost, internships, job placements. So, gave me 3 different
Amazing. So as you can see, I created this custom GPT to engage all of the different departments that we're going to be working with as we expand our partnerships and the different touch points. Who wants to go ahead and give it a try? So awesome. No, you don't. Definitely, we're not going to read all of them. Oh, yeah, I have 2 mics. Where's my presentation? We lost the presentation. But in the meantime, I would love for you all to continue to engage with it so we can see what partnership suggestions it gives you based on the program that you input. Oh, right here. Oh, no, you can just leave the regular. Yeah. Where is it here?
This is the second one.
Oh, maybe just bring it back, yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. You just want to mirror it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any partnership suggestions?
So I put in criminal justice, and so it's offering some specific suggestions on types of employers to target, police departments, correction agencies, private security firms. It keeps going on. It's got a long list, and then suggests an approach on how you might want to organize, host employer roundtables or networking breakfasts with faculty and students, tap into alumni working in the field to broker introductions, use LinkedIn or local Chamber of Commerce lists to identify HR contacts and law enforcement and justice organizations.
Now, that's one suggestion. Do you guys feel that that's a good start, a good springboard? Very good springboard to start the conversations, right? Because now we have to dig a little bit deeper into what specific courses we offer, and again, how we can align with what our partners are looking for specifically. So I'll give you one example. We partnered up with the New York Police Department, and one of the pain points that they had were for a personnel that was transitioning, retiring, right? Most police officers do not have a LinkedIn profile. Right? It's a security risk, especially if you're undercover, detective, and things of that nature. And actually, Dr. Glazer's team joined us at this presentation for the NYPD, and it was a tremendous success because we were able to sit with them, identify what pain points we can solve with our team and our career service department, and engage with them about our MBA program. So step 2, embed value holistically. So what does this mean? It means to view each partnership as a multi-touch asset, not a transactional event. A transactional event would be when we engage in the partnership officially, when we sign the contract, right? However, that is when everything starts. When you sign a contract with a partnership, now you have to map out ways that you're going to be working with this partner, events that you'll be putting together, and what unique ways you can engage with their employers and meet them where they're at. So one of the very cool partnerships that we have is with iHeartMedia. And this week, we launched a podcast with iHeartMedia. It is their first podcast. It's called Teach Me Something. And it's going to be co-hosted by our head of marketing, Panagiota, and DJ Pro Style, which is a DJ that's very well known in the New York City community. Now, we have an existing partnership with iHeartMedia for 20 plus years, but we had never brought them on as a corporate partner, okay? And so again, taking a look at the existing partnerships that we have as a university and how we can now move them over to the enrollment funnel to engage with them at that capacity, while also filling any pain points that they may have. iHeartMedia is a global market, 10,000 plus employees, so a huge opportunity for the university. Another thing that we did was work with our faculty to develop a centralized database where our faculty can engage with our corporate learning partners who are interested in speaking on campus. So supporting them with identifying these speakers and connecting them. So now it's an additional touch point for our faculty to invite speakers on campus. So we did that through Lovable. Lovable is a code-free platform that folks can use to automate workflows without having to embed any code within the platforms. So why was this an impact? Number one, it's an all-centered database. So every time one of our partners says, hey, I'm interested in coming on campus and speaking to your students, they immediately go into this Excel sheet that our staff, our faculty members can filter by their area of expertise, what company they work at, their availability. So it alleviates back and forth emails to coordinate with this, with the facilitator. So again, another organic touch point that adds value to the entire student experience. I just wanted to share one of the videos for one of the class trips that we were able to coordinate through these tools. The volume is very low, but this is Professor Malcolm, and we coordinated a trip to Salesforce. They are one of our class trip sites in New York City. So we won't play the entire video, but great experience for the students, 25 students going to Salesforce professional selling class, but also an opportunity for me to sit down with the executive team and continue the conversation about a partnership. Another event that we're hosting, our second annual this summer in July, is a career experience. And we had partners from New York City Football Club come on campus, as well as Microsoft to speak to our students and sit on panels. All right, so centralized CRMs, right? So this is another touch point that I wanted to tap into, because organizations that have a central place to hold all of their leads and their potential prospects see 3 times more engagement. So one of the things that we worked on at Berkeley, because we are a Salesforce user internally at the college, is work with our team to develop a B2B database where every single department can input these leads, and now we can work on seeing where the touch points are for each one of the potential partners, and also strategize to see where they are in the funnel. One of the things that I wanted to share with you is a database, an AI-powered tool that folks can use, because I know getting all that information together takes a lot of time, and nobody has time for that. So one of the tools that can be used is ATO, and ATO is a great tool because what it does is it'll scan the emails and it will automatically put them into an Excel sheet for you with all of the email addresses, the companies that these folks work at, and also the company website. So instead of going through every single communication with organizations that you've been in touch with, your team can simply implement this cool tool to download that information. Yep, so this allows us to paint a global picture of where we are with this partnership. One of the amazing things about that tool as well is that it has an algorithm that ranks the relationship of the partner or the potential partner. Okay, so in the worksheet, there's a few different things that we can fill out, but what I want you to just take a moment, to think through with your team and the table is who you're currently doing business with, right? Who is providing the computers at your campus? Who is providing, the technology? Who's providing human resource services, benefits? These are all organizations that you already have contacts and are warm introductions that your internal team can do to support you in taking it to the next level. All right, so recap. So enrollment doesn't scale through market alone, it scales through value-aligned partnerships. So number one, decentralizing the discovery aspect of your partnership strategy. Embed value holistically, so it's adding value to your potential prospective students, but also your current students and your graduates. And then centralizing insight, not control. So everyone has access to the information. However, each person has, each one has a, ownership of the potential prospect that you're working with. And that is it for my slam session.